Well, good morning. I'm going to tell you a story about violent storms. Those are the storms, scary storms, the storms that are unpredictable, those that move quickly uh, and cause considerable amounts of damage. Tornadoes, violent thunderstorms with hail, rain, and wind. In the US this year, on Memorial Day, 60 storms in a particular area of the country caused 24 deaths. A 4-day period in March, another group of storms caused the insurance industry to pay out $3.4 billion from damage. This year, so far in the US, is proven to be a record. We've had over 1,000 violent storms in the US. That compares to about 700 last year. So the trend is upward of these storms, which are hugely damaging in terms of destruction and death. We wanted to go after this problem. We wanted to look at it slightly differently. We wanted to find a way to actually see if we could solve this particular problem. And the way we thought about this was to actually think about how we might be able to bring insight to folks, to allow them to understand what's about to happen before it happens. Now, we were told this couldn't be done. We were told that there isn't the data, there isn't the technology to actually do what we propose to do. That's why so much of the industry is faced on post events, after the event. But we wanted to prove those guys wrong. We wanted to show that we could take people from a reactive state where post event they were scrambling to get pieces in place to a proactive state, to actually understand what's about to happen and be ready for it. So we came up with GeoChat-GPT. Now, GeoChat-GPT really has three pieces to it. First of all, the data. We're bringing and fusing together real-time data, weather data, about things that are happening now. And again, thanks to sensors on the ground, we can now get feeds of that data as it comes in. We can also combine that with data that's static data, buildings, people, vehicles, other things on the ground. So fusing that together is the starting point. Using artificial intelligence is the second piece to this puzzle. And we use artificial intelligence two ways. The first way is with machine learning. We use machine learning and trained models to actually predict what's about to happen based on what's happening now. So what we know from the past, we make predictions based on what's happening on the ground now. So we have the ability now to produce reports in real time of what we see is about to happen. That's our exposure prediction piece. The third piece of this is generative AI. And thanks to ChatGPT and other solutions, we now have the ability to ask questions in real time of what's actually happening on the ground. So we can answer now questions, what if questions, like suppose the hail in this storm, which is hitting this particular area, is 4 inches and not 1 inch in diameter. What's our exposure? There's a whole slew of questions we can answer thanks to generative AI. Those are the three pieces of GeoChat-GPT. So how do we see us making money? We've really got four pieces to the pie. This will be installed inside of the firewalls of these organizations. So this isn't going to sit somewhere in the Amazon cloud. So we have an initial setup and subscription model for sort of as a base level, where we go in and we actually install the system and set it up for folks. We've also got a professional services team, which will operate in two particular areas. First of all, we've got an extended maintenance agreement, or we will have a maintenance agreement, where we go in and because their environments are unique, we can go in and actually maintain things, change things, do that extended maintenance for them. We can also provide customization services for folks. So when you've got the villain at the base level, we can actually go in and change that for folks. So there are many times people want to connect other databases. They want it to look and feel differently. So there's some real custom pieces, again, that our professional services team will go in and build for customers. The other piece, which doesn't involve professional services, is the expansion piece. So we are building modules which extend the functionality of the application or the platform. If they want to add more users, if they want more data to be trained, there's a whole slew of different things that we do in that expansion world. So there are really four places where we see we're going to make money with this solution. So let's talk about the market. It's a huge market. We're really targeting in this first instance, our initial beachhead is the insurance industry. We've been talking a lot to the insurance industry. In fact, folks in the industry have been telling us this solution is badly needed. So it's a big market. Just in the US alone, last year, the payouts were in the $54 billion range. Worldwide, that equates to around 64 plus. So that's just the insurance world. If we broaden that to the world of risk, there's whole other areas where this can be applied. So it isn't just an insurance play. We see that marketplace at a very rough level, about $300 billion. So it's a huge marketplace with lots of different folks and organizations and verticals really focused on this risk aspect to what we're building here. So our competition, there is a lot of competition out there, as one would expect. Some new, some established. A lot of them are beginning to use AI similar to us. But where we're completely unique is we are tackling the real-time data piece. We're bringing in real-time data. And again, this is relatively new. A lot of the established players are really still focused on the post-event and organizations we've spoken to. So we see the niche in the market is really having that ability to bring in the real-time data and provide the AI capabilities to do the things that I've just described. So that's how really our unique value proposition. Our model is pretty simple. It's flexible and scalable. We've really got three pieces to it. We've got our base plan, which I've sort of spoken about earlier. The ability, what we're providing really is that setup, subscription, and core base level maintenance. That would be part of every agreement. And again, we're talking here about annual recurring revenue and monthly recurring revenue within this model. We've got the extended plan where we can go in and actually, without needing our professional services team, we can sell customers new modules. And again, if they've got other requirements on top of that, where they want to add additional pieces to the platform, we can extend it there. So there's a pricing structure for that. And then the customization services really is very specific to customers. That's our professional services team will go in and customize it as customers want. So really those three components. Here's our financial projections. You'll see the first year costs are high, revenue's low as we build out the solution. We see and the green line is the revenue, blue line is costs. Second year is when we'll start to actually sell the solution. So we see us bringing in a number of customers in the first year as we start to see revenue growth and it takes over from costs. And then we'll really see that hockey stick growth after year three, when we've got market acceptance and we start to really grow the number of customers buying the solution. So we really see this significant growth in revenue after year three, and it is a big growth that we predict. So what's our ask? We're really looking for a $1 million infusion to move this project along. The bulk of that cost is in development. That is software development. So it's actually building out those pieces, particularly focused on the AI pieces. But then there's other costs there. There's some marketing costs. There's some admin costs as well. But again, the bulk of where the money would be fed into is to actually build out the solution. So let me talk about the team. There's really three core folks in the team: myself, Colby, and Scott. I'm a veteran of the geospatial world, so the data we're talking about, the technology we're talking about, has fundamentally geospatial, people, places, and things. I've worked for some of the largest organizations in the world when it comes to that Hexagon Geospatial, Esri, and a number of others. I'm also a veteran of startups as well. I've set up 2 startups to date. This will be the third. Scott's a PhD in artificial intelligence, so he's a geospatial guy like myself, but has taken a PhD at Penn State. He's worked at Penn State, a researcher in exactly this area, but focused on the health world. And he's actually worked for the World Health Organization. So Scott is an expert in the world of artificial intelligence and the geospatial world. Colby's a generative AI expert. He doesn't come from the geospatial world, but he's worked for a bunch of companies really focused on this emerging world of generative AI. So we really have three excellent experts who can help drive this thing forward in the team. And this is my last slide. I think just to pull it all together, we're really in a place of the perfect storm. We now have data that we never had before, both static and real-time data, particularly real-time data on weather and the new sensors that are out there. We've got the evolution of artificial intelligence. We've reached a point where what we're talking about here now is possible using this new technology. And we've got a team of experts that I've just spoken through who understand this, are trained in that world, and can make this a reality. So we see a big gap in the market, and that's our goal, is to fill that gap. Thanks for watching.